course, with this, we'll have to make sure we take a jump off in the elytra to give you one more view of everything over here and everything down here in the spawn. We're going to move on to this next section over here. But this was the notice board that was kind of new, that was built, and then up here was the map wall. This is supposed to like announce new things going on the server, and then this is the map wall that never really got a proper home, but I put it together just to get a map of the actual spawn area. Of course, you can see everything over here. This is up to Gur's house way over here, Preston's home, the stables and the stuff over here, the horse runway, and then the buildings here. Now this is all the AFK chunk over here, and then everyone's house is up here on the hillside. So over here we had, this was the very first thing built on the server. It was the mine shaft. It goes down to basically a strip mine at the very bottom, which we all built together. I think it was Zerthik, Necker, Skadem, and I built this, and it was our first mining tunnel. So we wanted to have one. We each basically, there's 4 of us on. We each took a tunnel, went down mining, got a bunch of resources, and then built this nice little mine shaft. So this was very cool that we had this built. It was the very first thing on the server, and unfortunately, it completely gotten forgot about, and it was completely forgotten, and yeah, totally forgot about. And it just really never got done. We thought about maybe like filling this whole valley up with water and then doing all, it was a long process, but it's a shame that it never really got put up to its main marks. So over here was our AFK, or my AFK chunk, the kind of idea that I had, that you could come AFK in one place and have a bunch of stuff going on. Of course, some things like having those farms over there with the villagers or the fishing could have been all implemented together, and on the next time I build something like this, it will be. But this was a new thing for me, that I had never built this much redstone or this much of a project. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on here. First up, we had an automatic cacti farm that had a bunch of cacti running and farming and collecting those. And then on a big redstone clock, we had a sugarcane farm here that runs and harvests the sugarcane. And then I've got a pumpkin and a melon farm running that's automatically harvesting the growth of that. Although there doesn't seem to be anything in there right now. In addition to that, I have a red mushroom and brown mushroom farm. These are very slow, but they were working. You see we're getting tons of melons, tons of pumpkins, tons of sugarcane, tons of cacti. I also built a automatic chicken cooker, and I also built an automatic egg laying one. I had this running for a bit until these filled out, so we got eggs, and then a separate one getting us feathers and cooked chicken. And then we kind of built the smallest, most original iron farm idea that gets you red flower poppies, and it gets you iron. And that is what is sitting up here. This is the iron golem farm. There are all of our villagers that are a part of this. And here it is. It's pretty darn awesome, and I'm very proud of that. I've never built so many automatic things before. So a nice little valley here. And over here, which is another way that Gur was getting to and was going to build some stuff here. This was kind of an unfinished project, and it is the colored wool farm. I basically wanted to get colored wool. This was built in the pre-days before Skadem was going to do his automatic thing. His place was going to supersede this. But it was basically, one, if you needed to color sheep for some sort of project, you could come and get them. And it is raining again. What the heck? If you needed the sheep and also you to come and shear them, there's every single color is here. And they're all labeled in their pens accordingly. And there's a nice amount in there that you can come and breed them up, and they'll eat their grass pretty quickly. And it was kind of an unfinished walled-in project that never really got complete. But all of the colored sheep are here, and every single one is, and this was a fun project to do. So that is what is tucked away over here in the corner. And then last, over here on this section, is the guy that I played on the hardcore mode, whatever it's called. He moved out of here to somewhere. I'm not sure where he moved to, but he had a couple things going on here. I'm not really sure what he originally envisioned for this base, but he had a couple things going on. I'm not sure where he moved to, but he even had crops in here, but he moved those too. So again, not really sure what. I don't even know where to like show where his stuff is, if it was somewhere, but I know he had some farms around here that were doing some things. And actually, we can do this now and see what he got. Okay, there's his villager thing. Okay, I don't really see too much else going on here. Yeah, he must have moved his stuff somewhere that I'm not really sure where that was. Oh yeah, this was when I had a couple. We had 3 things going on here. One, players dropped their heads. Actually, that was the only thing we had going on, was player dropping their heads. And then we had the hearts being displayed on your screen. Those were the only 2 things I had. We almost did the Enderman thing, and I think we might, but I'm not really sure. We didn't do it this map. Okay. Oh yeah, lastly, on this side, I guess we'll finish up everything in this side, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make a second part to the video here of the final tour. So down here was the slime farm we built. Oh, this is actually something else as part of the AFK chunk. If you stand over there where all those crops are and let them AFK, this slime farm will run. At least the top section of floors are close enough where slime will spawn on those top section. So this runs, albeit slow, but it runs almost the entire time. So over here, we had it. I wonder how much is in here. Okay, yeah, because this originally had 2 double chests full, and someone took the one. But there's double chests here, and you can see another set that they're making. A very basic farm where they spawn on the platforms and they drop down. This is one of the biggest areas I've ever cleared out. Before we had all the speedy stuff, and it was a lot of fun. This was originally where we were supposed to AFK, but it works out pretty good at the top. So yeah, this was the slime farm I built as well, which worked pretty darn well. Very proud of how well this worked. Oh yeah, just a mining ravine. Now I think if I go... Whoops, I probably just flooded that whole thing. Can I go up, please? Thanks. Okay. All right, up to the top. So this was everything down on the lower level, and then on the, what side would that be? I guess, so everything in the valley of spawn, and then on the south side of our mountain range. I believe I've toured everything there and showed you guys all that there is on that part. In the second part of this tour, in the next episode, I'm going to show everything in the northern mountains, which consists of Zerthic's base, Davis's base, my base, Necker's base, Skatum's base, Thalia's base, and then depending on time, we'll go to the nether and see if we show off a couple other things around here. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this tour of everything that had been built on Spazcraft, and looking forward to the next episode. Hey guys, welcome back to the tour of the Spazcraft server here. And we're going to start by just searching on this the northern side of the mountain range where most of the bases are. This is something I forgot to show off last time. It's the dump, I guess we called it. Basically, everyone had a chest, and it's like if you just had a bunch of junk that you didn't want anymore and it wasn't even worth up for trading, you could drop it in here and someone else could take it because they might be looking for it. So that's what this was. I never really caught on. It was kind of stupid, but it was here nonetheless. This is the trail that leads all the way up to the mountainside. It splits off here and goes to Skatum's base, but we're going to start. Actually, we're going to start by going left, actually, and going to Skatum's base. So you can see the staircase was a little unfinished here, but he comes all the way up. Oh yeah, this was just a lookout. It's supposed to go this way. There it is. So he had some really good views. I think Skatum ended up spending the most time on his actual base. He built the biggest base in that he took over the most land and has his base sprawled over the largest area. But again, that's something he usually ends up doing in the first place with making the mazes of the base. But it's pretty cool. So he was supposed to make some sort of slime block launcher to get yourself over to Davis's place. And then they ended up, I think him and Davis ended up connecting down here, which goes to Davis's place. Yeah, as you can see, it goes to Davis's, which is what comes up where the original main walkway is, which we just split off of. So we'll go hop up here now. All the way, once you get here, he has a whole bunch of lights. And I believe most of these down here might not be. But I know the stuff up at the top is connected to an automatic lighting system where you press a little light and boom, or the sun comes up with a little daylight sensor. That's what it is. and turns on the lights there. I have never seen this. This is a little jungle room? This is really nice. What is this? I'm not sure what this is supposed to be at all. I know he was building a bunch of themed rooms for storage of items, and maybe that's what this was. What is... This is also an exploration from... Whoa, there was a whole nother cavern over here. And what? Did they trap that guy there? What the heck? This is very strange. They obviously had some ideas for some unfinished projects that did not get completed yet. Very interesting. I guess we'll keep going down. Again, I don't know what this is or what this was supposed to be. But this looks very well done, whatever it is. So we're going to go back over here and going to keep going up to his actual world. That was Skatem's nether portal, which you saw plenty of in my videos. Any Miles ended up connecting up all of them. But we're going to keep walking up this way into his place. So yeah, here's a whole bunch of his themed rooms. He's got a purple room to store all of his end items. He was trying to go with a theme of everything. He's got stuff in here. Redstone room, another room. Very, very cool to look at, but this is never how I'd want to try and find my items. But it is pretty cool. He did a good job with the decoration of these rooms and the color of his rooms. Once he got the prismarine blocks, you know, just a little natural waterfall there, trying to make it look as aesthetically pleasing as possible. Okay, he's got the sandstone here. He's got a whole bunch. Some neat stuff in here. Okay, this is a maze. Again, more of his lookout space here. There's a place where this down here is actually the item elevator that you can see here, where you would drop the items in from in his space that he wanted to send down below, and it actually goes all the way through here, and that is what ends up all the way down there, which is pretty neat. That goes like all the way down there. Very cool project that he did. All right, back inside. This is behind all of his chests. Here's his storage room. That's still was not 100% complete, but you can see all of this good stuff here he's got laid out. Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of stuff laid out here. And I guess this is his automatic furnace system, I believe, here to cook. You can see he's got a ton of items, and it's all pretty well laid out and organized, which is pretty neat. That's the door to his portal, which of course we walked around and came in the back way. This is his elevator he built. If you press this, you can see it drop down. So one of the worst things about Amplified is why it's a really cool place to build and look at. It's a pain in the butt to get around, and the elevation changes. So this is what he built to get in. It's supposed to send you up and down in your minecart, and you can hop out. And then you can also drop all the way back down. So very cool that this was... Oh, it sent me behind the wall. Let's see if we can get back to the other side. There we go. So in here, this is where we were going to originally build minecart rails like we did back on that other snapshot world that connects to everyone's base, and this is where they were all supposed to come in. Of course, you remember we built the line that connects my base to Skatem's base, and then I believe Skatem and Davis have a connection, and maybe up to Necker as well. But they're supposed to sort of be connected here. Oh. I didn't even notice that's where this connected to. I didn't even notice these doors here. They blended in so well. So that's where he comes in here, where the rail line comes in. A really great lookout for some really great views. Skatem's base was very elaborate. He put the most time into the base. I spent most of my time building other projects because I just did not have too much inspiration for that base this go around. Here's all the rail lines that connect up where he had it set up, where you flip the switch of where you want your rail line to go. whose base you wanted to go to his storage room or to Mike's he had set up, where it's rigged up with redstone as to where it's going to show up. Also down here, he had these really good glass floors because he was kind of like on an arched overhang, but then also building completely in some pillars. That's where the witch is down there. So he had the really neat glass floors, and it's all to his redstone. Some really great views here. He was unique using the orange colored stuff to build with, but he had lots of ledges under overhangs. This is where that boat would launch you up back in the day. So here's his little mudroom when you walk into his house. What you see in here, I believe all of these are synced up to the redstone. This was his food farm that he had built up here. Again, really good aesthetic outside build, and here's out on his ledge. So give you a view of where we are on the actual map, where we came out at. There's his base. On the other side is where that other stuff peeked out. And then you can see he had lit all of this up, and then you can see all of his underhangs. Here, some really neat that he built like right down at floor level, which I think was probably the coolest part, the best thing that I liked about it. So yeah, I think that's everything to do with Skatem's base, or most of it. If you come back over here and go up this ladder instead of walking towards his building, this will take you towards all the way up here to the top into another room, and this was the subway line that I believe he's built to Davis's place that Necker and him built. I guess we're gonna have to run. Yeah, you can see it goes here and then it goes all the way down here. It's very cool, and we'll see where that comes out at the other end once we get down to Davis's. But this was the line that they had built here. The line that goes to mine you can technically run on, but it actually goes under this bridge here. As you can see there, it never really got quite finished, but you could technically ride it, but it was more to send items back and forth. That's actually a subway system for them to get through. So here's this bridge up here that runs back to that mountain, because this whole mountain complex and this one are not really connected. Necker built on this floating island, so this is Skatem's pillar, and it's disconnected from everything else, and then Necker was out on that island. Wow, every single night it is raining. So here's this room up here at the top. I guess this is technically Skatem's still. What is this? He built a jail? I never saw the jail that he built. Or maybe Necker built that? But anyway, here's the bridge out here that goes to Necker's base. So this is the top of Skatem's. And Necker's island out here. He lived solely out on this island, which was very neat. And I really liked his place. It's a nice little cozy island he lived on. Here's how you walk up. You can also take this waterfall up here from all the way down into spawn. And here's his house up here, a little room. And then another floor down here for smelting and a good overlook towards that direction of all the bridges. And then here we go. Everything's nice and up and running. And then that's back down into his house. He had a little farm up here. Whoops. He built that to try and jump at the Iron Golem farm. Here's his little hut. I really liked his little hut up here on the stilts. Very cool. We'll go check that out. And then that will be it for Necker's base. Ladder's back here. Yeah, and then over here is his little hut. Gur's head. Everyone had a Gur's head because when we were doing the testing for that head thing, it like glitched out and just gave everyone Gur's heads. But I think I got it working for like a little bit, and Thalia and I had our heads. We got our heads, but I don't think we got anyone else's. So yeah, this is Necker's. You can see Gur's over there, and the rest is spawned down below. And then this bridge over here is what you take to get back towards the island that housed the rest of it. All right, once you cross the other side here, you can see the rail line that goes down to my base. You come over here to Zerthic's section. He was living here on this ledge, which was the highest up ledge of this big mountain that you could build. There was a whole bunch of different platforms on it, and each of us built on a different level. Davis, then Thalia, then myself, and then Zerthic built all the way up here at the top. If you go all the way to the very top of this, there's not enough space to build. We've only got about 5 levels. I use this as a nice flat area we cleared out with trees that we could hunt monsters, and I had a creeper trap set up here, but of course you can see that is not running anymore. This was like the only place that was easy to fight monsters because all the cliff sides were hard to fight on, and we had lit up spawn pretty well down below. So of course Zerthik has an amazing building style. He was building in Conquest, so it probably looks better in that. But he had his little farms out here. He never really got moved into his house. He just had a tiny little place. As you can see, here's his basement. He kept some of his rares in here. He didn't spend too much time on the server because he spent so much time. One, he's as busy as I am when in school, but two, because he was spending most of his free time coding plugins for Avius and then also working on the server. And he's still doing that now, but I'm hoping we can get him to play more on 1.10 or the next, if we kind of revamp this up for the rest of summer to get him to come back on. This little attic up here, not a lot of room. You can see my head was in there. But yeah, he had a little hay roof that spawned creepers on it all the time, but really cute, really well done little house that he built with his little bridge and his little farms up here. He had a nice little area he could have expanded back on behind the back, but he didn't really touch too much of that. So then down below to my place, we're actually going to say that for next episode, this is going to be a 3-part because I want to make sure I have time to show stuff in the nether and then Davis's section as well, because my part is going to be pretty long. So I think I want to go ahead and save that. So I'll actually go ahead and show Thalia's real quick because that's a smaller one to show. She had a little farm up here for herself, and this was actually built by Zerthik and Necker. This waterfall on this lake here was filled in with a little dock to do some fishing up here to give everything a little bit more zest. This was Embers of Thalia's house. She redid this. It looked completely different not too long ago, but the inside she didn't really get around to redoing too much of. But an adorable little house with a little bed up here, and then this goes up to my base with a little room in the middle, but that leads up to my base. It was how we could connect our houses without having to go to the outside. So down below is the rest of the walkway in Davis's, and up top is mine, and I'm going to show all of this off along with the nether and some miscellaneous things in next episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed so far, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya! Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to check out some more Minecraft, why not check out my Sky Factory 2 Let's Play with Zerthik and Necker by clicking here in the top left. If you'd like to see something else, you can check out my Eidolon Let's Play that I'll be finishing this summer by clicking here in the top right. You can follow me on Twitter down below, and then if you like what you've seen so far and you have yet to subscribe, click the big banner below.